Hi guys, Chief here again. Just with another quick build video. This time it's for my Dragonhunter. Yeah, Dragonhunter is still a really strong class in World v World. It still has quite good kite potential. It still hits really hard, and yeah, with the stealth access to Trapper Room, you get quite a good bit of sustain, good bit of element of surprise. With the cleansing, condition cleanse isn't quite as good as the Willbender, but you make up for it in mitigation. You can go into stealth, you can hide, you can kite. It's still a really strong class in World v World overall. It's definitely worth giving a go. Okay, let's talk about gear. I run pretty much full Marauders on everything except my amulet, which is Knights, and my one ring, which is Knights. All the rest is Marauders. Longbow is Berserkers, actually. I mean, you could run Marauders on that as well, just for a bit of extra vitality, but it's minimal, it's okay. For my runes, I am running Rune of the Trapper, and it's what gives the build its access to stealth and super speed, which makes it excellent at kiting and hiding. So you just drop a trap, you get stealth super speed, and that's per trap, so you can just keep dropping traps, and then yeah, that's me got all my super speed and stealth. So you get quite a lot of stealth for a non-stealth class just through this single rune. I run energy and cleansing in my defensive set for sword and shield, because as I say, current meta, everything's Condi. It's a pain in the backside. And on my longbow, I run air and cleansing. Again, I cannot stress how much of a fan of the cleansing sigil I actually am. So yeah, that's what I run on my my weapons. So let's get into the traits. I'm running Radiance, Virtues, and Dragonhunter. If you've watched the Willbender video, all the traits are the same on Radiance as it is on my Willbender. So right hand strength, retribution, righteous instincts. Just because it's just the best in slot. It gives you extra power with right hand strength, gives you extra damage with retribution, and it gives you the also you get the ferocity and critical chance increase there, and another critical chance increase here. So that's just best in slot. Virtues, again, same as last time, helps you with more damage because you've got permanent resolution pretty much. So I use same again, Unscathed Contender. This is where it's personal preference. On my Dragonhunter, I run Inspiring Virtue over Absolute Resolve. You can take either of those, it's entirely up to you, but I run the extra damage on this one to get a harder hitting true shot, but it's personal preference. And obviously Indomitable Courage for the Sunbreak. Here on Dragonhunter we run Piercing Light, Zealot's Aggression, and Big Game Hunter. We run Piercing Light because we are Trapper build. There is Dragonhunters that don't use the Trapper rune, and they tend to run Soaring Devastation because they don't really use as many traps. They just kinda go for the true shot power hit. So they tend to go for the mobility over the trap recharge, but because we're relying on traps, we go Piercing Light. The Defender's Dogma, blocking an attack causes maximum charge and reduces the cooldown. It's good, we like this. And we have blocks on F3 and we have blocks on shield 5, so that should be popping that off pretty regularly. Zealot's Aggression, increased damage, so when the foes are crippled, when they are attached to your chain on your F1, they will be permanently crippled for the duration of the chain. or until you pull them. So it's worthwhile not immediately pulling them. If you just keep them tethered to your chain for a while and just auto attack, it's worth your while. Don't pull them into your trap right away. Obviously this one, deal bonus strike damage based on your distance, that's always good. 15% if you're at max range, that's a lot of damage. So when you add up the damage modifiers on this build, you've got 10, 20, 30, and then maximum 45% damage bonuses, plus when they're tethered an extra 15%. Yeah, you can get up to 60% damage increase in this build just by your trait choices. So it's a pretty hard hitting class. But that's the traits that I'm running for this one. As for the skills I'm using, my preference is Stand Your Ground, Test of Faith, Procession of Blades, and the heal trap as well. You can use Shelter for that extra block to proc your Defender's Dogma if you want, but I prefer having the extra stealth that trap gives me, and it does heal you for quite a good bit. Stand Your Ground is the one slot that you can change to whatever your personal playstyle is. I like the stun break and I like the stability. You can also run Judge's Intervention for a gap closer, or if you're having trouble dealing with conditions, Contemplation of Purity. It's purely situational, it's up to yourself. I just personally run Stand Your Ground. And I'll show you combinations and openers with Judge's Intervention and stuff as to why people run that, but that's my skills and my utility slots there. Okay, we'll go on to how I usually engage or start a fight off in Dragonhunter. I'll normally start off with Test of Faith because it is the longest cooldown. So by the time you drop that trap, move over, move away, drop your second trap, they should be back up roughly the same time. So you would drop your first trap and never just stand in your trap. They're gonna send something this way, they're gonna immediately go for you where you last were, and yeah, never just stand there. Always drop your trap, move over to the side, utilise that super speed and stealth. Drop your second trap while you're still in stealth to keep stealth going. Then you can stay in that one because they don't know where you are. They can't see you drop your second trap, so no need to move off. What you can then do is you can spear them, and then you just begin auto attacking if you want. So that's nearly 3,000 damage just on auto attacks right there. And then once they've dodged and all that, you can then true shot, and there's another 6k. But yeah, the damage is pretty strong, and you've not even got them to come into your trap yet. So that's what I tend to do, is I'll drop a trap, move over, drop another one, chain, combo, then if they come towards me, that's fine, they'll trigger the trap, I can move off, kite onto my other trap, so then they come into that one, then they take damage, then you can drop your heal if you need it, go into stealth, you can drop more traps, mine and keep them spread out, just try and keep kiting, confuse them so they don't know where your traps are. Then you can start fighting in your traps again, and if they come towards you, they're going to take more damage. Just keep trying to kite around. Never just stand still in your traps. It's a terrible idea. Let's talk about combinations and what combinations you can do with each trap. So, Test of Faith is a trap that does initial damage when it's triggered, but it's not a lot. You get the main damage from this trap when they cross over the spikes. So you want to try and push them in and out of this trap as much as you can after it's been triggered. So what a lot of people do is they'll lay the trap, get the spear, pull them with the spear, and then longbow 3, push them back out, and that'll do damage to them. And then obviously you can true shot them after that. That tends to be the way that trap works. I'll show you one of the reasons why people run Judge's Intervention using this trap. Because Judge's Intervention and Test of Faith are both instantly castable skills. There's no cast time with them at all, and you can drop them while you're stunned and stuff like that. What people tend to do as an opener with Dragonhunter is, if you pop your F1, because that has a slight cast time, before you finish casting it, you can teleport in and drop your Judge's Intervention onto the character, onto the person you're trying to attack. So if you F1, do that, see, instantly, and then you can pull them over, and then you can longbow 3 them back over again, because there's 0 cast time with that. So as soon as you port onto them, you can drop that, and you can, if they dodge, that's fine, you can pull them back in over your trap, that's even better, and you can put them back out again with your deflecting shot, and then you can true shot them. That's generally the main reason people run Judge's Intervention, is for that combination, and for hunting down thieves. It's pretty good for chasing thieves that way. But I tend not to use it too much. I prefer the stand your ground, because if you're running Judge's Intervention, you've just immediately wasted a stun break, and I don't see the need for it. If people want to attack you, they can come to you in your trap. That's kind of the whole trapper thing. So I don't bother running that combination. What I tend to do is I'll drop my trap, spear them, pull them, and can knock them back out, and then true shot. It tends to be a kind of safer combination. You can also do the same thing with your Shield of Absorption. You can pull them in and pop that, and it'll hit them out of the circle. So the next combo for the next trap would be for the Procession of Blades, and you can drop that. And what you can do is, once you've speared them, you can start the number 5 and then pull them, and then you pull them into your chain, and then they can't leave that. Normally they can't leave that, it's just that the golem teleports back automatically. But you can drop them onto your trap and gate them in so the trap permanently hits, and then you can drop your longbow 4 in there as well for extra damage. But that tends to be the kind of combo you can do with that once you're near that trap. Just lay the trap. Sorry, just waiting for my... There we go. So, do that. Start casting the 5, and before it lands, boom, you can baby gate them in, and they will be stuck in there taking that damage. And then just pop the number 4. But that tends to be a pretty good opener for that particular trap. Defensive wise on Dragonhunter, you only kind of really have the kiting ability of the stealth. Hopefully they don't hit your trap while you're trying to run away and kite, because it will reveal you, but if they don't, then you've got super speed and you can get a pretty good distance away. If you're really in the thick of it, you have a block that will last for 3 seconds, and it's a stun break, and it'll give you stability. So that's a pretty handy skill there. And this will remove a mob on your F2 and give you a good bit of distance where you can lay a trap, kind of get away, switch to your sword. You can kite further away by teleporting onto an enemy, heal yourself with detonating the bubble, and you can give yourself protection and Aegis by hitting number 4. But that's about it for the defense. You just need to be smart, kind of try and juke them with your stealths, and yeah, just play carefully until you set up your next combo. You can just lock them in with the baby gates and then run away. Just drop a trap and try and get away that way. I mean, it's pretty pretty simple stuff. It doesn't have as much tools as the Willbender, unfortunately. But you have stealth. What more can you ask for? It's pretty solid. Yeah, in summary, it's just still a really strong class. Still very usable in War of the World. And here's a duel or two just against a warrior, show you what the actual build can do. Cheers!
Stand your ground. Refreshing.